Hey, it's Kim Constable, CEO and founder of the Work at Home Mums Network, and welcome to Work at Home Wednesday. This is a very, very special Work at Home Wednesday because today I have the most amazing female entrepreneur that you can imagine. In fact, I have followed this woman for, I don't know, over a year now since I started my online journey, and I have been inspired and enthused by everything that she puts out. And believe me, this is so exciting that she has chosen to share her time with us today. Melanie Duncan. Hi, Melanie. How are you?
Hi, great to be here.
Melanie has been successfully starting and running online businesses that allows her to live wherever she wants, work as much or as little as she wants, and actually make money, because there are so many people that aren't making money these days, and she, in fact, is one of them who is. So her online businesses produce over $3 million in annual revenue, have been featured on major television shows like ABC's Good Morning America, NBC's The Nate Berkus Show, and without the help of any PR agencies or outside funding. And on top of all that, she practices what she preaches. She lives her life fully and runs all of her businesses remotely from her New York apartment. Her real passion is teaching others how to create the success and freedom that they desire in their lives as well. And that is you, whammies. I know it's you. So that's why we have her here. And Melanie is a Pinterest expert, which is why she's with us here today. And she started using Pinterest to drive traffic and sales to her e-commerce site way before anyone else was using this platform. In fact, she honed her strategies, created a profitable system, and then taught thousands of other business owners across the world how to do the same. I took one of her webinars, I bought her course, and let me tell you, it is phenomenal. Melanie, thank you so much for being with us today. You have no idea how excited I am.
Oh, thank you. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, we are. And I know that I sent you the questions in advance, so I'm just going to nip right into them because I know that everyone's dying to hear what you have to say. So in a nutshell, I get asked this all the time. What is Pinterest?
Right. What is Pinterest? Well, the way that I like to explain it is Pinterest is just a virtual version of that bulletin or that cork board that maybe you have in your office. Maybe you're looking at it above your desk right now. But what it is, it's a place to store and collect interesting and inspiring information. But what's really cool is that you're not just limited to, a magazine or something that you find or a piece of fabric, but literally anything online you can pin. What makes it even cooler than that is that it's a social network. So beyond the fact that you can collect and organize stuff that you find cool, you can also see what other people are being inspired by and share with your audience or your followers information that you find relevant or helpful. So it's really cool because you can store and collect and organize cool stuff that you want to keep and reference, but also you can share it with a broader audience and be exposed to tons of cool stuff that other people are finding online.
Wow, that's amazing. And obviously with Pinterest, you're not limited to size, like on your cork board or on any time I start a mood board for something,
Right.
you're limited by the size that you have, but because this is virtual, that's not true.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, you really can have no limit, at least that I haven't found yet, but any limit to as many different boards as you want or things that you want to pin. Yeah, the sky's the limit.
Oh, wow. And tell me, in a nutshell, how could a work-at-home mom with a service-based business benefit from using Pinterest? Because most of our work-at-home moms do have service-based businesses, and one thing they struggle with is obviously putting their products and services out there. How can Pinterest help them to do that?
Right. Well, what Pinterest is really great for is increasing visibility. And I think that service providers think that Pinterest isn't for them, which is completely false. In fact, I think there's actually more opportunities for service providers to put their content and build relationships and get exposure on Pinterest. Because
Right.
if you're a product seller, you can, of course, pin your products, which is great. But if you're a service provider, you most likely, or you should, have a lot of content out there, whether you have a blog or you film little, how-to
Mhm.
videos, or you have sorts of instructional classes or courses. The way that at least I've learned is the most effective to sell services is to put a lot of good stuff out there. That's why, like you said, I've done webinars. I do a lot of webinars because the best way to sell a service is to first establish that you have value behind what you offer. And so what I encourage service providers to do is use Pinterest as a platform to showcase all of their material expertise, allow them to build a relationship with prospective clients, but also to position themselves. I mean, you think about it, if people come to your page and you've got volumes of very helpful information, you've got great videos, you've got a very professional looking page, they're probably going to be more likely to work with you or to hire you for your services or assistance than if they really didn't have any idea what they were signing up for or what they were going to get. So that's really the best way to use Pinterest as a service provider, is to establish and position by using it to spread your content.
And what about a work-at-home mom who has a product-based business? Say she makes little, I bought these gorgeous little wine glass charms the other day. Like I saw them, I was like, oh, from a work-at-home mom, and she has tons of stuff like that. How can someone like that use Pinterest for their business?
Absolutely. So, like I said, you obviously want to pin your products. And one thing that every business owner should have if they sell products on their page is a board that is simply dedicated to their products. Think of it as it's like an online catalog where every pin is a different product you sell. You have descriptions, you have prices on them. So people can literally at a glance look at all of your products. Each product pin should link directly to the product page where they can click and buy. You don't want to just have everything go to your home page, but you really want to make it almost like an extension of your site where they can look at it, see how much it costs. If they want to buy it, they can click, add it to their cart, and be good to go. But then in addition to just pinning your products, you really want to use it for branding purposes. So maybe like for my business, Luxury Monograms, we have a bunch of different boards where we showcase how our customers use our products. So we sell pillows. So we, of course, have our product category board, but we also have a board called Our Customers, where we have pictures of how our customers use our products in their home. We also have a board that's kind of more about the business. So it talks about, how we got started, where we're headquartered out of, what our mission or our value statement is, kind of fun facts about our brand so that people feel like they get to know you better. Because ultimately, whether you sell products or services, people buy from people, and the more you can personalize your brand, the more comfortable, particularly to the female audience, the more customers are going to want to engage with you in your platform because they feel like they know you. So for product owners, it's more about demonstrating value on how your products can be used. There's a great cosmetic company called Birchbox that sells makeup, like makeup products, and they have a whole video tutorial board where they show you how to use their products, different ideas for how to use them. So say the wine charms like you were talking about, they could also, pin fun, entertaining recipes or decoration ideas, things that are kind of an extension of how people would be using their products.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so smart. I love that. Like that had never really occurred to me, that angle before, and I'm sure it probably hasn't to a lot of people watching this. I love it. And tell me, what is the biggest mistake that most Pinterest for business owners make?
The biggest mistake that most business owners make is not creating enough of their original content. 80% of the pins on Pinterest are repins, which means the majority of people log into Pinterest, they go on that news feed where you see all the updates, and they kind of just will spend 15, 20 minutes repinning what's already on there. So when you're using Pinterest as a business owner, you want to go against the grain. You want to do something very different, which is to be going outside of Pinterest to your website, to your blog, even just creating, like little image files that you can upload from your computer and link back to your content. But what you want to be doing is putting fresh content onto the platform that can then be recirculated. Because the biggest mistake I see business owners make is they start using Pinterest for business, they set up an account, they've got their logo on their profile, and they just repin a bunch of stuff. And they reach out to me and say, Melanie, like my traffic's not increasing, I haven't gotten more sales. And I'll go and look at their account, and it's not their content. They've pinned great Martha Stewart articles, or they've pinned, great other things they found online. But the only way to really increase your traffic is to have more pins that actually link back to your site. So the focus should be at least 50% of the content on your page as a business owner should be your original content. And you don't have to make brand new content, but even if there's stuff already on your site, finding little teaser pins to make or things that you can then link back to those pages and just get more of your own stuff on your page.
I suppose it's almost like building your own website like you do in the beginning. You need to spend time building your Pinterest page and building your Pinterest brand. I mean, you could go around and take blog posts from other blogs and post them to your blog, or post other people's content. People would love you to do that, but you don't. You spend time building your own. So Pinterest, what I'm hearing you say, is kind of the same thing. Spend time building your Pinterest profile, building your business on Pinterest, and then take it forward from there.
Yes, just not too much time, because then the other mistake I see is people spending 6 months,
Right.
creating hundreds of pins, and they have 3 followers.
Right.
And so you want to get, the minimum. You want to get the minimum amount of content on there that people will come to your page and still want to follow you, and they won't feel like if you don't have anything on your page, people aren't going to follow you. But then you also don't want to spend 6 months creating all this amazing content and not having any followers. So you want to have at least, I say at least have 5 boards. That each board should at least have 5 pins. That's my 5x5 rule. But then you want to start going after your audience and finding ways to actually grow a follower base before you put all your time and effort into developing content.
And how do you grow a good follower base? Can you give us like one good tip for growing a follower base?
I can give you a lot of good tips.
Your best one.
The first thing is engaging your audience. I think a lot of people, they have a Facebook business page, they have a little bit of an email list. Doesn't have to be a huge following, but they have, a little bit of an online following, but they don't tell anyone they're on Pinterest.
Okay.
And people who are fans of your Facebook page or they're on your email list, they're already raising their hand saying, hey, I like what you do. I want to be kept informed on what you're doing in your business. And so you don't want to just wait. People aren't going to find you on Pinterest automatically, or very few people are. But you want to do a post on your Facebook page, maybe once a week, drawing attention to something new that you've pinned, or some new content, or if you're offering a special discount to your Pinterest followers. I try to post at least one thing a week on my business pages that tell people what I'm up to on Pinterest. And I also have an autoresponder in my sequence now, and people sign up for my newsletter. It's not the first thing they see, but kind of down the sequence when I'm talking about different ways to keep engaged with me, I also invite people to follow me on Pinterest, and I tell them why. So I think once you get a good handful of followers, there's definitely a tipping point after a couple hundred followers where then their followers see what they're pinning, and you don't have to put as much of effort into growing it. It kind of starts to grow organically. But particularly in the beginning, you do want to reach out to your established audience and ask them to follow you, and then tell them why. Give them a reason why, besides just I'm on Pinterest. But incentivize them.
Oh, that's exciting! Wow, amazing. And finally, tell me, what is your best resource for using Pinterest effectively?
My best resource is kind of funny, actually. It's probably PicMonkey, which is PICMONKEY. So I don't really use Photoshop a lot. I love Photoshop, but because I'm not very skilled in it, it takes me a long time to do things on it. Where a lot of the times when I'm updating fresh content for Pinterest, I'm just kind of creating something new, a new image that's going to link back to something on my site. And so I use PicMonkey because I'll take one of my Instagram photos, or I'll take a product shot, and I'll just drag it into there, and I'll add some sort of text. I use a lot of teaser text, which is really, you're not teaching anything inside the pin, but it's really directing them to what they're going to learn. So I could say, 3 steps for getting more done each day, or something like that. And PicMonkey is really cool because they have all these different fonts and these cool banners, and it usually takes me less than 3 minutes to create a really good-looking pin. And you can make it tall and, do all sorts of cool stuff like that. So I use PicMonkey a lot just to refresh and create those teaser pins to direct more traffic back to my site.
Oh, wow, Melanie, you are just jam-packed full of exciting tips. And I've even learned new stuff on this call with you. And I know a lot of your stuff because I've studied it. So honestly, I cannot wait for you to tell us. Please tell the members of the network, where can they find your products? Where can they download them? How much does it cost? So they can get off this call and go straight over there and download it all.
Well, if you go to melanieduncan.com, that's my main website where I have lots of free training. If you sign up for my, updates, you'll get invitations to free trainings, and you get video training, all sorts of good stuff like that. But if you go to powerofpinning.com, that's my actual training course for how to get started and up and running with using Pinterest for Business.
Wonderful. And it's $197, is that right? Dollars?
Yes, it is $197. If you sign up for some of our free trainings, sometimes we do run specials on those. But if you want to go straight away, it is $197.
Oh, perfect. I'm so excited. Melanie Duncan, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. You have no idea how valuable it is. I think Pinterest is such an underused tool. And I have personally, since using your strategies, grown from when I first started using Pinterest, which was after I took your first webinar, from I think 5 followers to I think I'm up to 350 now I think it's been 12 weeks, maybe not even 12 weeks, and I haven't even put that much effort into it. So that's how quickly it can happen. So thank you from me, and thank you from all of us, and thank you so much for being here today. And make sure that you go to powerofpinning.com, get your copy of Melanie's Academy. Is it an academy? Would we be right in calling it an academy? I can edit this bit out, actually.
Sure, you know, it's just a training.
It's a training. Okay, I'm going to say this bit again. Okay, so get over to powerofpinning.com and get Melanie's training. It's only $197, and it is worth every single penny. And make sure you go to melanieduncan.com and sign up for Melanie's updates, because they are also incredible. This is Kim Constable. Thank you so much, Melanie Duncan, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Kim. Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.